This video follows on from the first video, which covers pattern preview feature for repeats, and this video uses a completely different style of artwork. So this is a watercolour painting that's been scanned in, it's been cleaned up, and the colour has been shifted by playing with the hue and saturation points and the levels. But I'm now left with my artwork on one layer because I've deleted the white background using the magic wand and I've just got a solid white layer behind. Now, just want to separate my motifs out onto their own layer. So I'm going to zoom in a bit, and using my lasso tool, I'm going to start choosing a layer, right click, layer via cut, and make that invisible. Okay, come back here, and I'm just methodically going to go around with my lasso, and I'm going to go right click, layer via cut, and make it invisible to kind of see where I'm at. This one, I'm going to use a keyboard shortcut now, which is Command-Shift-J, and if I just show you, they're all on their own separate layers. Okay, now I'm going to carry on using the lasso and Command-Shift-J, so make sure I'm on the correct layer, Command-Shift-J, and I'm going to speed this up now. Okay, and now I'm going to just tidy up some of these motifs a tiny bit by just sort of adding a little kind of stem, making sure I'm on the right layer, mind. Okay, looks a bit softer. Okay, so now I have all my layers visible and every motif is on its own layer. And now at this point, I could use the pattern preview method to put this into a repeat. Now I'm going to give my background layer a different colour. So I'll open my swatches. I've saved a colour palette already. If I pick that dark colour there, I'm going to just fill my background layer by making sure I'm on the layer, and then I just choose Option and Backspace on my keyboard to just fill that solid colour. And now I need to make sure my repeat size is as I want it to be. So firstly, let's check the resolution. Yeah. Okay, so now I could change my canvas size. Let's say I need to work to 32 by 32. I'm going to just anchor my artwork to this left-hand side here. Press OK. Okay, so I've now changed my canvas size so that it's the size of the repeat tile that I want, 32 by 32. So I'm just going to begin by locking my background layer, and then I'm going to just make sure that anything that's kind of fallen off the canvas bounds as I clipped the canvas size. So that little one there, I'm just going to use my arrow keys on the keyboard to just bring that back onto the canvas. Okay, so now I've got all my motifs, and I could proceed with the pattern preview feature to start putting this into a repeat. Now, before I can apply the pattern preview feature, I need to change all of these to smart objects. So I'm going to right click and individually change these to smart objects. Now that they are all smart objects, I can come up to View and Pattern Preview. Hit OK. And now if I zoom out, I can see what my motifs will look like if they're in a grid block layout. And now I can use my Move tool to start imagining what these are going to look like in a layout. Now I'm just going to proceed like this, and start building a layout, and I'm going to speed it up while I do so. Once you're happy with the layout you've created, you can change these smart objects back to normal layers. And to do that, whilst still in pattern preview mode, select them all, as I have here, with the exception of the ground color layer, and then right click and choose rasterize layers. And now that's going to turn that back to normal pixel layers. Come up to view and turn off the pattern preview, and then you want to crop to your tile size. So if I hit the C on my keyboard or choose the crop tool from here, hit enter a couple of times, I've now cropped any excess outside of the canvas to the size of my tile. And now I can come up to edit, define pattern, hit OK, and now I've saved that as a pattern swatch and I can test it out. Let's test it out in a new document. And considering my tile size is 32 by 32, if we do something like 100 by 100 centimeters, then we're going to be able to see the repeat working. So now I can select all by pressing Command A on my keyboard, and then with the rectangle marquee active, if I right click, I can choose fill, and then from the pattern drop down here, scroll to the bottom and choose the last pattern defined, hit OK, and there we can see our repeat working. And now I could save this for output onto paper or digital textile printing. It would be a good idea to also save your layered PSD repeat unit so that you can always come back in and edit the layered Photoshop version of your design.